Hi guys, welcome back to another YouTube video. So in this video I will be going over a report that Instantly shared last week about obviously the patterns they have been seeing in cold emails, how top 1% are getting replies. They have analyzed over a billion emails that have been sent from their platform and shared the best practices that top senders are sharing. And to this video I would like to share with you the top learnings from that. My experience says from sending millions of emails last year as well. So after this video you will know how you can create campaigns like top 1% and get those 5 to 6% replies and book more meetings from your campaigns. So let's get into it. So according to the report, the average cold email reply rate is just 3.43%, which according to me is really good. Like I would say if your accounts are getting 2 to 3% replies, they are good to go and you can keep using them. And at that rate you could easily book one appointment for every 1,000 email you send, and that is a really good metric. Most people are seeing like one booking for 2-3,000 emails that they are sending. So the big shift that you're gonna see in cold email in 2026 is it will be about resonance and not the reach. As I have been saying from last 1 year, you have to be relevant. It's not about how many emails you're sending, but how precisely you can target your leads at the right time. Right now, AI agents or workflows help us do like 50 to 70% of the task. The positioning, messaging strategy have to be done by you. You have to do the 1 and 10 of the journey. From 2 to 9, you can use AI to do it. But for that to work right, you need to know how you want to go from 1 to 10. So here are some benchmarks that they shared. The top 10% are getting 10% replies. Top 25% is getting 5.5% replies, and typical average reply rate is 3.43%. The main differentiator between elite and an average sender is that the elites are doing micro-segmentation. So let's say if you are reaching out to tech companies, you should be reaching out to tech companies who work with automotive companies, have raised series B, and for something like this you might get only 40-50 leads, but the messaging would be really tailored to that. Like the lead would not be able to tell that whether the email was automated or it was just sent manually. So that's the goal with the campaigns. Your lead should not be able to tell like whether the emails were automated. You need to also continuously A/B test your messaging, your subject lines, your offer to get that right fit. The thing you think that will work might not work. So that's why testing is very important. Sometimes a sequence works that you thought will never do well, and that has been the case with us as well for like 20% of the time. So that's why you need to keep testing. So another great metric that I learned about is 58% of the total replies were to first emails, but follow-ups still get 42% of the reply. So follow-ups are essential part of the sequence. I would say in total 3 email is a good sequence. More than that is just an overkill. And again, you don't really have to do like those lengthy follow-ups. The best follow-up have been this quick follow-up on my note. Just this one line have been the best follow-up that Instantly shared. And after this, if you want to send one more follow-up, I would say just totally change what you said in the first email. Try using some different case studies or a different angle to see if you can make it work. Now here is the winning formula that you can use to get results. First is, so you want to keep your subject lines hyper relevant. Don't use generic subject lines, quick question, thoughts. I don't really like those subject lines. I would always prefer a subject line that reference a specific problem, a outcome, or a situation relevant to their world. So for example, if I'm selling my services to a B2B SaaS companies, I would mention like 5 new clients next month for company name, or 5 new ICP. I will mention that ICP in the email subject line. That gets more open. So it's setting the stage for what's in the email. I would prefer people deleting the email knowing what it is about rather than just trying to get them open the email and then they mark you as spam. And then in the email, keep it really short, like try to get it done under 80-90 words. The goal should be clarity, and every word must earn its place. You should not be repeating yourself in the email. It means you're not really clear what you're trying to say. So you need to make it quick. You need to know what problems they are facing, and then you sell your solution. You cannot be just talking about yourself. They don't really care about who you are. You need to understand they want to solve their pain points, and if you start with their pain points, they will read your email. And talking about the CTAs, you should not be adding too many jargons or things in your CTA. Make it very clear and ask just one question, whether they would be interested in something, or is this worth a quick call, or does this make sense. You can see the winning CTA from the data that they have figured out is like, would you have couple of minutes to chat about this over next few days? Very simple. You have made the offer, you have done the research, and you have used a good opening line. That is something they are looking for. They will reply to you. You don't really need to overkill in your CTA and thinking that it will get more replies. Either keep your CTA with the lead magnet, like, can I send you this, or just very simple asking for a time. Obviously, this has to be the foundation of your email campaigns as well. It has to be about their problem. It's not about your solution. I'm sure you have a great solution, but they don't really care about it until and unless you show them you understand their world and their problem. You cannot be copy pasting the same script to tech companies and manufacturing companies. Both have different problems. You need to go deeper on that. And now with AI, you can do deeper research, right? So use that information. And if you see a pattern, like all these companies that are doing well, Clay.com, Instantly, they have actually solved people problems. Instantly solved, people were paying for like each email inbox. They introduced, unlimited inboxes. So they were actually solving those pain points, and that's why they have grown to this stage. Now, some data about the timing of sending the email. From our data as well, we get the most reply on a Wednesday and a Thursday. I'm recording this video on a Thursday. We got the most reply in the whole week today only. So I would say always start new campaigns on Monday, since everybody have cleared their inboxes over the weekend and they have their priorities set for the week. Launch new sequences on your Monday. Wednesday, send those follow-ups. I would say if you want to do a lot more volume, it should be on Wednesday. And on Friday, everybody have just checked out mentally from the work. So I would prefer you don't really send a lot of emails on Friday. Now, the elephant in the room, deliverability. Again, obviously, if you're not getting the deliverability right, everything we have talked earlier would not really matter. If your emails are not reaching the inboxes, there's no point doing everything else, even if you're doing it right. Obviously, if you want to keep your inboxes healthy, you need to know if there is higher engagement, you will get better placement and even more engagement. So you have to understand that loop. If you're not getting replies to your email, your deliverability is going to be worse. You will need to set up infrastructure very quickly. So usually right now for ourselves, we set up new infra every 2-3 months. But for some clients who we get good engagement, their infra lasts for like 6 to 7 months. Obviously, make sure you have 2%, less than 2% bounce rate. You warm up the new domains for 2-3 weeks, and after that you start gradually sending the emails. You should not be doing extraordinary volume variance, like you're doing 500 on Monday and nothing on Tuesday. You have to keep it a little bit consistent. And last but not the least, which should be the starting point, is setting up the SPF, DKIM, and DMARC authentication records for your domain. So here are next 3 trends that you will see in 2026. First is obviously intelligence-led outbound. AI is gonna run the most of the motion. Like, it will handle all the research on the ICP part and personalizing the emails and sequencing as well. You just have to focus on the strategy and converting those leads. Second is intent-driven timing. Obviously, you should not be just using a spray and pray technique. You should use these signals like hiring patterns, funding events, product launches, website visits. Some more, I would say, is scraping the followers of your competitors. Then you can use Trigify to see people who are engaging with a particular topic. Then you know they are interested in something that is related to your industry. So you reach out with a lead magnet that is relevant to that topic, and you'll get more engagement because you have a reference point in your email. Data is 70% of your game now. Everything else anybody can do. You should know how to strategize your campaigns. Third pattern, engagement first metrics. Email service providers are now weighing time spent by your prospect reading the emails. It means it can judge from that like whether your emails are valuable or it's just a pure spam. So if they see like people are not reading your emails, marking you as spam, it's clearly a spam and they will start sending your emails to spam. So it's quality over quantity for inbox placement. So now the challenge is not just about finding the right people who takes the decision, but also finding the right people and reaching out to them at the right time. Because if you can do it, you will always have more conversions. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching the video and spending some time with me. I hope you got some value from this. I tried giving you the main points from that report about what I thought was valuable and what you could benefit from. I hope you got some value out of it. I know I have not been really consistent with the uploads, but I'll try to be more consistent with creating these videos and sharing with you what I'm learning while creating and trying to run campaigns for us and our clients. I'll see you in the next one.